I think the case of Mary Barone is an excellent example of how Adonis Paul's narcissism gets in the way of his ability to understand reality and the unreality that he has created regarding Mary Barone's his alleged saying that she was involved in this murder when it was proven beyond a reasonable doubt that she wasn't, and there's no evidence to prove otherwise except for his own mindless ramblings and the echo chamber of the ROTC programs. This casts the ability of him to be this psychotically driven to destroy this woman shows that he has no credibility. Certainly not in a court of law, and certainly not in everyday life. The man's insane, clearly. He lives in a narcissistic fantasy. He doesn't have. If you ever look at the guy, if you ever see a real photo of the guy, I was amazed. I didn't even know the guy really existed. I was under the presumption that it was either Mersch or Royce using some kind of voice changing apparatus. I didn't actually think Adonis Paul was a real man until I found out that he was, and he's a scrawny little crackhead looking dude. And this led me to believe that obviously this gentleman has a narcissistic delusion. He's living in a delusional world that he himself has created and turned himself into this cartoon god man. And he's really a very pathetic human being. And it's almost sad. If he wasn't such a nasty person, I would be very sad for him. But there's no room to be sad for somebody that's as truly evil as him. If you look at the way he hurts this woman, Mary Barone, and really tries to make her kill herself, it's very terrible what he does to Mary Barone. And he really needs to be brought to justice. Unfortunately, the way the internet works, it probably won't happen. But the good news is if he's stupid enough to involve the justice system, he will be brought to justice. He will be. And it will be a great pleasure of mine to cross-examine anyone he has as a witness or anyone that his ex-wife has as a witness. I would gladly cross-examine anyone because what happened is, well, let's save that for the imaginary court date that will never happen, just like the imaginary ban from Argentina and the imaginary karate match that I was challenged to that Mr. Paul never intended on following through with because he's a wuss. He is a wuss. Like he challenged me to a karate match, I think 3 times, and then backed out. And then his resort, after bragging about being a karate expert, and even on the end of his show, there's a cartoon him doing karate training in a gi. He decided to say karate is for children after living in this narcissistic fantasy again of him being some sort of super martial artist. And it's really quite humorous that he is this delusional. And what was funny is he goes, uh, he said that he fears that I would attack him after I pointed out in my video that the man is on antidepressant medication. Number one, the man has firearms at his premises, at his residence. Antidepressants and firearms tend to lead to mass shootings, and this man ain't wrapped too tight. You can tell if you watch his program. The dude is not sane. He is not a healthy-minded person, and he is a danger to himself, to his immediate neighbors, I would almost guarantee, and to society in general. He's a harm to global society through his show and the things that he promotes. He really needs to be looked at by the authorities, but the authorities just, for whatever reason, aren't looking at him. But the funny thing is, if he really does involve the justice system, the authorities will be looking at him.